Now we go to Jimmy, Tampa, Florida, a listener on the internet, BobMoreyLive.com.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing, Jimmy?
I'm doing well, sir. God bless you. I was listening on the internet to Sun Life Radio out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and you were on there with Francis Swaggart and John Rosenstern.
Oh, yes, many times.
That was a very interesting program, and you said something that kind of really sparked an interest in me, something that I kind of been thinking about for a while. In Tampa, I attend a church that is maybe 2 blocks down from the biggest mosque in Tampa. And for several years, the Lord has just been dealing with my heart about Islam, and I've acquired much of your material, videos, and just stuff that I've been reading and studying, and I've been having a burden for Islam and Muslims. And you said something on that program. You said that churches, especially nowadays, should have some type of training program for Christians to
absolutely
to reach out to Muslims, to
in love,
Muslims, and to also to expose the errors of Islam.
Yes, and we're talking about love. We're not talking about hate. I can tell from your voice you're not saying, let's get a group together to bomb the local mosque.
Oh, no.
No, we're talking about reaching out in love to these people. They've immigrated to this country. They're frightened. They're alone. The terrorists rule over them. Most of these mosques are run by terrorists.
Yes.
And every church should have a program of reaching these people for the good.
Yes. And what I wanted to know was, I have somewhat of a working knowledge of Islam, and like I said, I've been looking into it for several years now. What would be some good suggestions that you would suggest for us, like maybe a how-to or a step-by-step, or how would I take Christians who maybe don't know much about Islam, that may have a heart to make a difference for Christ? How would what would be some suggestions that you would say that I could do?
Well, of course, given the limitations of this program, it would be like, you have to convince your leaders. But what I want you to do is to hang on.
Okay, I certainly
will.
And
then we're going to give you the personal number.
Okay.
Or you give us a couple of numbers. Now, we're California. When we can call you and you can call us and I can talk to you personally.
Okay.
Or you can go to faithdefenders.com and email me there, Dr. Morey, at faithdefenders.com. It'll even get to me. But very simple. Number one, if you don't get the pastors behind you, nothing will work.
Yes, my pastor, I was speaking with my pastor in the meeting we had recently, and he was all for it. He was all for it. He wanted the program to start. We didn't set a date. I just wanted to prepare, something and get something going.
Well, we'll talk about that. I've helped many churches do this. It takes preparation, that it's done right. The comic book for reaching all the youth in the church, they take it into the high schools, into the colleges, the junior highs. That's the first shock troop. And then to prepare classes on this, to show videos like the Battle of the Three Battles, a brand new video we just put out of the lecture that I gave in San Diego. Same church where there was an attempt to assassinate me. So there's a lot of stuff to do, but this is something we can discuss.
Okay.
So I want you to hang on.
Yes, sir.
And that is not something of real great interest to the listening people. 1-800-401-TRUTH. Tomorrow, Thursday, KPLS is going to air the L.A. Sparks game. Playoff. We're not going to be on. But Bob Morey Live is going to broadcast online. So if you have access to the Internet, just go to BobMoreyLive.com. A special edition. And so those of you listening on the Internet, hey, this is your great opportunity to call and to participate. And we're trying this out. When we get preempted from live radio on KPLS, maybe we'll do a live Internet broadcast.
Today we had Hawaii and Florida.
Yeah, Hawaii, Tampa. We'll see the other places.
Sure.
All right, let's now go to Philip in Los Angeles. Welcome to Bob Morey Live.
Hi, Professor Dr. Bob.
Hey, how you
today
doing?
I was recording CNN about the Ten Commandments, the removal of the Ten Commandments in Alabama, and the lady president of the ACLU said that the Ten Commandments were removed because the Jewish people were offended because it's a Protestant Virgin Mary monument and not a Jewish Ten Commandments. I didn't know there were two Ten Commandments, and have the Jews forgotten that salvation is for the Jews and the Gentiles? What's going on here?
Well, probably the CNN means Clinton Nimnu. They don't know. These secular people don't know anything about religion.
No.
They don't have the slightest clue. They don't even know that the copy of the Ten Commandments was copied right out of the Jewish Torah of Exodus 20. Word for word. It's right there in the Jewish publication. Now, nothing to do with the Virgin Mary, because she wasn't even around when Moses. Now, that's the mistake. Yeah, the whole thing was ignorance. And by the way, I'm very irritated, even at Rush Limbaugh, because the issue is separation of powers. The Congress is the only one who can make laws. When these judges invent laws arbitrarily out of their own personal bigotry and beliefs, they have violated the Constitution. So the real issue is that there is a separation of powers between the three branches of government, the executive, the judiciary, and the legislative. The legislative branch is the only branch that is supposed to make laws. They are the only ones who could determine whether or not Ten Commandments could be there. Mm-hmm. When a judge rules on such issues, and this is what Judge Roy Moore is saying, that federal judge violated the Constitution. The real issue that has to go to the Supreme Court, which has been violating the Constitution all along, is that they are not demagogues. We, the people, are supposed to run this country. We elect representatives who will put the laws we want in effect. We don't elect these federal judges, most of them appointed by Clinton or some other liberal. They hate God. They're secularists. They're atheists. They're Nazis. They're butchers. Yeah. And they want to force the United States to become a secular society modeled after the glorious Soviet Union. See, in their mind, the wall never came down. Yeah. They want to build the wall here. And so this is the real issue. It's separation of powers and the Constitution of the United States, and these judges need to be rebuked and impeached by Congress. And it isn't any other issue. That is the only issue at hand, is whether or not our Constitution is to be followed or trashed.